In this video we're going to render materials, and to do this you'll need some coloured pencils and you'll also need an eraser. Before we get started we need some principles. In all of our examples to come we're going to be illuminating a cube, and we're going to imagine that there's a light source in the top left. Now that means that light's going to shine down on the cube and it's going to have a light surface that catches most of the light, a medium surface which catches some of the light, and a dark surface which is in shadow. So whatever colour you choose to render with today, you're going to need three shades of it. You need a light shade, so if it was green, we would need a light green colour. We would need a medium green colour, that's a kind of dark green that I've got there. And also to get our dark shadow colour, we're going to use dark blue. Okay, now you'll be tempted to go ahead and reach for the black pencil to do shadows, okay? But I don't want you to do this. We're not going to be using black to be making shadows today. It leaves things too grubby and dirty looking. So first up we've got plastic. I'm going to render some plastic, and we'll do this in green. Okay, so we're going to have a light green colour, we're going to have a medium green, and we're going to get that shadow, that dark colour, by mixing in blue. Now I want you to notice how I'm holding the pencil in these examples. Oh, we're going to need an eraser and a white pencil as well. Okay, let's put in our little sunlight over there. Okay, and first up is the light colour. Okay, and notice how I'm holding the pencil, holding it quite far back. That ensures that I'm only lightly touching the paper. So I'm just skimming over the paper here, putting down this light colour across all three faces. It's going to be the base colour to everything that we're going to do. So let's put down this light green everywhere, and then we're going to pick up the medium green, and we're only going to do the medium and the dark face of the cube. Again, I'm being quite light here, all the way across, medium and dark. In fact, I think I decided at this point that we'd have to go a little bit darker than this, so I'm leaning a little bit heavier on the pencil, and I've now gone over those surfaces a couple of times just to get it a little bit darker. And here comes the magic bit with the dark blue. So we go over the shadow side, the dark side, with a dark blue, and by using blue it just keeps the vibrancy of the colour. Our colours don't end up that muddy if we're using blue to darken it. And now we do a little piece of magic with the eraser. We rub out some stripes across our cube, and that creates the illusion of kind of shininess. And then I do something which doesn't really show up in camera, to be honest with you. I go over the edges with a white pencil, as if the edges are catching just a little highlight on it, as plastic does. The pencil's not that strong, and the presence of the dark lines doesn't help either. When we move on to wood, it's exactly the same process as we went through before. Set our light source, and our light colour of wood's going to be orange. Then we're going to go to brown, and I'm actually using purple to shade the wood this time. But it's the same story. We pick up the light colour, we hold the pencil quite far back, and nice and lightly rub over the whole plank of wood, making sure that that colour goes all the way over it. That's our light tone right there. I'm going to put that down, and just like we did with the green cube, we're going to pick up our medium tone. This is a kind of reddish brown that I've got here, and I'm going to go over the medium side, and I'm going to go over the dark side as well. And I'm looking for a nice difference between light, medium and dark at this stage. Now by this point I picked up the purple and I started shading in, and I thought to myself, no, do you know what, I really need that underlying reddish colour, that brown colour, to be darker, to be heavier. So I went over it again before then applying the purple. You could use blue at this stage, but I grabbed some purple just to see what that would look like, as long as it's not black. Okay. Now we're going to add some wood grain, and I've marked this near corner. So what we're going to do with that near corner in mind is we're going to add in some broken arcs across that end of the wood. Okay, this is to simulate wood grain, and those are kind of broken. Okay, and every time one of those arcs goes up and touches the top surface, I send a line all the way back across the wood. And sometimes those lines go from edge to edge, and sometimes they go up, and sometimes they loop back down again. I've even gone so far as to add in a little knot here as well. Now, a couple of things I realise about this video now, that brown pencil was nowhere near sharp enough. You need a nice crisp point on this, but nonetheless I'm going over, look how I'm holding the pencil now. Okay, near the end, kind of like around. And then lastly we put on some little dots, little lines around the place, just to help with that. add in a little bit of texture. So you hold the pencil near the end to get them nice, crisp and dark lines. Right, finally metal. Now metal's got a wee trick to it, and we need to revisit our sort of shading theory that I did at the start of the video, because I want to introduce to you the concept of gradients. And gradients is a gradual change in colour, because the way we get the metal effect here is in each of our surfaces we pick a dark corner and we smoothly blend dark towards light. Okay, so you can see that in each of these three faces now there's a kind of dark corner, and it smoothly blends across to the other corner which stays a little bit lighter. And we call this gradation of tone a gradient. And that's what we're going to do with the metal. It's going to be a kind of blue metal. I'm going to need light blue, dark blue, and a rubber to do this. Set our light source. A little reminder that we are going to be using gradients, not just flat colour. If we used flat colour, it would end up looking like the green block for plastic. So on that top surface, you can see that the gradient goes from back to front. And then on the medium surface right now, the gradient's going dark in the top left through to kind of lighter in the bottom right. And I picked up that sort of medium blue just to add a little bit more contrast in there. And once again, over in the dark surface, leaning a little bit heavily now. First of all, we start off by putting down quite a heavy coat of that light one, and then we go all the way over it with the dark one like this. And I'm still not satisfied with how dark that is, so again we go around quite hard on that near corner and smoothly blend the pencil across that way. Then we take the rubber, and we can use the rubber to lighten up the bits that should be brighter.